Okay, so I'm using Dragon Stance by Natasha and using Sky Mist, Baby Blue, Cerulean Blue and Ultramarine VersaCraft ink pads. And I've got my card blank, which is 8x8, and I've got a blue shimmer card, which is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and Bockingford, which is 7.5 by 7.5. And I'm just using a stamping platform which has got the sponges on it, and with the main image, and using the baby blue ink pad to just give me a base image so that I know where she's going to go. And I've cut out some circles with card, which I've just drawn round a tape, a couple of different tape rolls to get the sizes. Mine just happened to be 4 3/4, 4 1/4, and 3 3/4 if you wanted the same sizes, but if not, it doesn't matter. And then I'm using the Sky Mist and Baby Blue just to go round the circles with a blending tool. Now I've done this on card because I felt that I wanted a more robust template to be blending with. If you're using paper, you've got the problem with it might rip and things like that. So I wanted something that was going to be that I could just hold down rather than having to use masking tape to hold it down. And then I kept going around the edges, just randomly choosing places to go, and then also gone so it's almost from the center, so it creates a bubble. All you need to do is just make sure that you're avoiding the face. So if you get to the face, just miss that bit out and keep blending around the outside. You don't want a dark line going right through her face. It's fine through her hair, but not in her face. And I'm just literally alternating between the ink pads. I'm not picking any colour in particular. Obviously this will work with any shades of colours. I've just picked blue for this one, but you could do it with pink and red, pink and purple, or whatever colours you wanted, but I wanted the monochrome. I quite liked it. And once you're happy with where all your circles are and you've filled in as much white space as you want to, then you're going to restamp the main image with VersaFine. The reason I'm doing this is because I want it a nice permanent base and I want it to stand out from everything else. You could of course use the darker blue ink pad that you've got, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. And then I've heat set that before doing any other colouring. Obviously this means that the VersaCraft will now be permanent. And then using the cerulean blue and the ultramarine, I'm going to start colouring in the flowers. So all I've done here is use my water brush to water down the inks that I've put onto a non-porous surface, and then using the cerulean blue as the base colour, and then using the ultramarine to fill in the shadows while it's still wet. Now, as with a lot of the pink ink stamps, you tend to get the shadow hints already drawn in for you. So all you've got to do is just use that and then think about where things overlap. You're going to get a shaded point. I wasn't too worried about the background colour on this because I was going to decoupage it up afterwards. But obviously if you want to leave it flat, then go back in a second time and keep adding your colour until you're completely happy with it. As for the leaves and the little flowers that I wasn't going to be decoupaging, I did the base coat with cerulean blue, left it to dry, and then went back in with the ultramarine just to make them darker so they stood out from it. Again, I wasn't worried about the shading on this bit because I was going to go back in with a white pen afterwards. For the hair, it's pretty much the same idea. So cerulean blue as the base coat, just following all the lines of the hair to give it a base colour, and obviously as this dries you can add the same colour again and it will be even more intense. And then you can go in with the ultramarine again, following the shading hints, and give yourself a bit more layered effect to her hair, which always adds really nice bits. So I'm using the ultramarine for her eyes and her lips, and then the cerulean blue for her eyeshadow, keeping with the monochrome theme there. And then also using the same colours again, just to add the extra wisps of hair, just to finish that off there. It just makes it look a bit more full. And then moving on to the other two colours, so your Sky Mist and Baby Blue, again keeping with the blue theme, to start painting her face. Now you're only going to give a hint because you're using the actual colour of the Bockingford as the main colour anyway. So this is just adding shading. So start off with your baby blue, just to where you feel comfortable, and then think about where the shading is. So sort of around the edge of the face and under your chin you're going to have it, under your lips possibly. Think about defining the nose with it, things like that. Once you're happy with the way you've coloured the face, heat set it, and then you can recolour round the outside of the actual image. So I'm using the ultramarine and the sky mist mixed together and just putting that in round the edge. Now because we've coloured the hair and the flowers with mostly the cerulean blue and the ultramarine, this will make it stand out. You can obviously go as dark or as light as you wanted to. I just wanted a little hint and more dark round the back of the neck than the hair. Again, because I'm decoupaging the flowers, it's not something you're going to see. So the next bit is to heat set again before you go in with the next bit, so make sure it's thoroughly dry before you go in with any details. And then I've taken a white gel pen and I'm just highlighting all the areas. Now I have highlighted the whole of the flowers, even though most of it's going to be covered up, but it was just to give me a guide so that when I coloured the flowers on a separate sheet of Bockingford I knew that it was going to be in the right place. And then I'm adding highlights to the hair as well, so I'm just doing this completely random. I'm not really thinking about where I'm doing it at all. I think more random sometimes helps, rather than really thinking. It's not a realistic picture, you're making it whimsical. So I'm just highlighting the eyes there as well, a little bit around the nose and the mouth, just to finish it off. And again, all those extra little wisps of hair you've got, do some more that are white ones too. And I like to define a collarbone as well on the top of the neck there. And also add in a couple of little freckles, little white freckles, although you can't really see them on there, but it does show up on the finished one when it's done. Once you're happy with everything and it's dried, then we move on to our embossing. So I'm just going to get the words, which are "You Are Magical" from the same set, and with a VersaFine ink pad, give it plenty of ink and stamp it down, and then use a clear embossing powder. Be careful just to tap the powder rather than flick the page, because it's not a very sticky ink pad for that sort of thing. And then going to move on to the stars, and using the ultramarine, just going to stamp them out randomly on the page. And I've used the Sparkling Snow by Wow. Now this time I have flicked the powder because I like the effect you get when you get a little bit of blue through it. Because the Sparkling Snow is sort of a white based embossing powder, so you'd lose the colour completely, and I just wanted a hint showing through, but I also wanted it glittery. You can see it on there, it's quite shimmery. And then once I've done a couple of random ones with the embossing powder, then I've done a couple of random ones with the Sky Mist and the Baby Blue, using them both on the same ink pad, just randomly put bits on there to give you a slightly different colour, and obviously it will mix with the background so it will look pretty. And then again, heat set once you're happy, because you've used the VersaCraft again. And then using a quickie glue pen, my fave, and some lovely blue glitter. This blue glitter I got years ago. It's from JJD Crafts. It's called Icicle Blue. I don't know. It's but Hunky Dory it says as well. Okay, so maybe it's Hunky Dory. They might still do it then. And I mean, it's lovely, really sparkly and very fine as well. So it goes really well with the quickie glue pen. So I've just done her hair with that. And then once you're happy with all the glittery bits on there, then going to mount your card and get it all level, because we're finished with the heating. As you can see, I was a little bit impatient. I didn't wait for it to dry before I mounted it, but never mind. And the last bit with the glitter is to use the quickie glue pen just to fill in the word magical, and then put the blue glitter on that as well. I thought that was really pretty to infill that with that. Okay, so now it's onto the decoupage. Now I've already cut these out and done my my white gel pen on them. If you wanted to, obviously I've left them on there laid out so you could see how I laid them up. And then I'm just using silicone glue, or you can use pin flare glue, whatever you wanted to use, or foam pads even. But all I've done, instead of shaping the flowers, all I've done is push them down at the bottom, just to create a bit of dimension. And then I've taken my quickie glue pen again and coloured around the edge of the flowers, but this time I've used just a clear glitter rather than a blue, and then finished it off with some liquid pearls. So you can see the effect is really pretty and probably works with any colours. I really love it in the blue. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.